Welcome back to another episode of McCall Media TV Live, whereby in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you, or showing you, I should say, a behind the scenes tour of what it's like to actually go live with my STREAMYARD software. STREAMYARD's been an absolute lifesaver with regards to the time and energy it was taking me to publish my videos back in about March and April. And I have to say, I absolutely love this software. So after having been asked about it now, probably a good sort of dozen times over the last couple of months, I just thought, you know what, it's about time I did a little bit of a behind the scenes tour. And that is what today's video is all about. So before I go rushing into that, just remember I am live across all my social media accounts. Please do subscribe and support me. Every little helps, as it were, as a young channel. And we'll crack on in just a second. Okay, so the problem is when you are planning on doing a YouTube journey or doing any kind of video marketing, you have to burn, or not burn necessarily, but you have to allow, shall we say, in your diary a huge chunk of time. For me to publish my sort of 10 to 20 minute videos, it was taking about a 6-hour investment per video. We've got the planning. I would then film numerous takes because I was never happy or comfortable with my delivery. Then there's the whole editing and cutting everything up, putting it together, doing the transitions, the background music, and then you would publish it and do all the promotional efforts. And at the end of the day, as much as I love the outcome, and if this was my full-time business, I'd have no problem with that. But as a small business, having all these other demands in my life, I just couldn't invest pretty much 1 day a week just to my YouTube journey. So I had this big internal dilemma. What do I do? I love the videos. Video marketing is the way to go in 2020, especially with everything that's been going on in the world. People are obviously diving online a lot more than they would do on a face-to-face transaction. So how do you overcome that? And it's through my own internal demand to want to resolve this problem that I came up with the solution of needing to go live. So I then had to look at different software that was out there, lots of different ways of going live. And I have to say there are 2 or 3 different other front runners, shall we say, with regards to suppliers of live streaming technology. But the quickest, easiest, simplest, funnest, most enjoyable experience was the STREAMYARD one, which is what I'm obviously talking to you guys about today. So we're going to dive straight in, and I'm hoping this is not going to go a little bit wrong, because I am actually obviously streaming with you through this software right now, whilst also going to try and show you behind the scenes. So it could go terribly wrong, but it could also go perfectly well. So this is the fun of live streaming, because you just never know how things are going to go. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is your browsers. Now, when you go live streaming with STREAMYARD's software specifically, it's not much of a fan of Edge. It does run on Firefox, but they do actually suggest you strongly use Chrome, because there are other tools and features that become available to you once you're in the Chrome environment, such as the green screen options, which I obviously, as you can see, haven't taken any advantage of, but I will do one day. I have a green screen, I just haven't played with it yet. And I have actually had a couple of requests about the green screens. So at some point in the future, I will be doing a little video to teach you more about that. I've just had a comment come in. This is from, I don't know if I can say your name, Tanner Azobel. So far, so good. Thank you very much. They're obviously watching live on Periscope right now. So like I said, I'm live across all my different social media platforms. Okay, so the next thing that you need to bear in mind when you've got your live stream environment going on and you're working with STREAMYARD is that you need to set up your destinations. Now, this is where things could go just a tiny little bit wrong, because I'm going to share one of my other monitor screens with you right now. Oh, so far so good. Okay, so as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, I am now showing you behind the scenes, and this bar along the top right now is the live stream that's taking place right now, and I'm talking to you directly on. So let's just quickly dive into destinations. You can't go live without telling StreamYard where you want to go live to. So it's very simple. You can click on add a destination and you literally can pick out your social media account. I'm obviously not going to do that right now because I'm live and I don't want to mess this whole live stream up, but that is simply a case of clicking on your favorite one and connecting like you would any other type of software. You'll go through your various verification processes depending on what platform you're using and what you've set up on that account. And then as you can see, you'll have your list of live streams down here. Now I have connected to my LinkedIn profile, but I'm still waiting for LinkedIn to give me the whole live stream ability. I've put in my third application to them. So at some point this century, I'm hoping they'll just say yes, but you know, you have to be persistent. But essentially you can see here that I run a couple of Facebook groups. I've got my Facebook page, obviously YouTube, Periscope, etc. I've also got a little cheat going on here. As you can see, this is Angela's private StreamYard live group. Now, the reason I've done that is nobody in the world can find it because I've set it to hidden or whatever it is in Facebook and private, and it's only myself that's in there because sometimes, even though you can record your live streams without, or you can record using the software without necessarily going live, it's kind of handy to kind of see it in a real life environment. And I wanted to test and basically build up my confidence back at the beginning in about March or April when I first started live streaming. And I wasn't sure how I was going to come across and how my presentation skills or my enthusiasm and my passion, and if I was going to trip over my words and all those kind of things. So I created myself a private group so that I could go live into that private group, and then with a cup of coffee, as you know, I like my coffee, I could sit and watch again in my own time. So that's just a sneaky little tip that I just thought I'd throw in there for you guys. So once you've got your destinations all set up and configured into the StreamYard software, the next thing you need to do is create your broadcast. So as you can see up here, there is a tab. Says broadcast. I told you this software was really simple. And at the top here, you've got two. Now, before I dive into how to set this up, let me just show you on the past broadcasts. All of these broadcasts last for about 7 days. As you can see, they report 7 days, but it's showing now on the 1st of July and we're now on the 15th. So that's a couple of weeks old. So essentially, you can then dive in and download a copy. So if you clicked on these three little dots, you've got various things that you can do with it. You can dive back into the studio. You can basically download the recording or view it on how that actual stream then went in any of the places that you sent it up as a destination. So there's lots of things that you can do. Coming back over to the upcoming broadcast, I'm going to show you now real quickly how to set up an upcoming broadcast. So I can't touch this one right now. As you can see, it's got the big old red live because this is you and I talking together as we are live right now. But if I was to click on that blue button, it's first going to ask me, oh, now I don't know how it's gone grey. Yes, fine. It's going to ask me where do I want to go live to. So just for the pure sake of having this demo for you, I am going to show you that we could go live to my private Facebook group. But just down here, and I don't know if you can see it, it's a bit faint, but you have actually got the whole skip this process and record only. So if you just wanted to record some videos, maybe for some tutorials that aren't going out onto, you know, the public domain, as it were, you've got that option too. So I'm just going to select my private Facebook group. You give it a title. Now, from experience, this is where I have basically learned to do my homework first with regards to all my SEO keyword research, descriptions, hashtags and everything, because once I have done this, obviously this is the private Facebook group, so it doesn't apply, but across the public groups like my YouTube channel, Periscope, Twitter, all the rest of it, this literally goes now and sets up as a broadcast. So I am actually going to set this up actually so I can demonstrate it. I will show you. Before I do that, just 10 seconds, I'm just going to swap my screens around and show you my other screen. She says, where's it gone? I think my computer is now going to cause me some problems. Oh, it's not liking this. No, it's not liking it. I was just going to show you how the broadcast looks as a, there we go. There's my YouTube channel. Right. So if you look down here right now, obviously I'm live. So it's got a little black live going on in the corner, but it's got the set reminder button. That is essentially how this post will appear in my YouTube environment. And it's a very similar thing in the other social media platforms as well. The only difference is when I haven't yet gone live, this will basically not show that little black tag. So that's how these reminders set up. And so by pre-scheduling my Facebook, my Twitter, my YouTube and everything, what I'm actually doing is telling my social media accounts and putting these posts out without me actually having to go and do this as a separate task. So it's a fabulous little tool. So that's why you need to put your SEO keywords in right now. So if I call this SEO keyword title, there you go. And then you'd put your description. So in this video, I'm going to talk about So I'm just going to put a couple of X's right now. And then down the bottom here, you've got a couple of other options. You've got the option to add comment instructions to my post. So as you can see, let me just take that off where we go back to my comments. When Tana Zobel made a comment, we was able to throw their little comment up on screen. Now, if they had have added a photo to the Periscope account, we'd be seeing their little profile photo right now. So that is basically what that instruction is on the post. It's kind of like a little tagline that they add or append to the end of your message to basically tell your audience how to engage with you when you do go live. So you can always tick or untick that, and then you've got the ability to schedule it for later. So I already pre-designed my thumbnail images. This is the one that I'm using on today's broadcast. So I would literally click on my little pre-designed thumbnail. So it does help you to get organized to begin with, which is why, just as a quick little plug, I'm in the process of launching a video planner. This is the draft. I'm just talking to the printers now about doing a batch run, but that's a side note. And then you'd click apply, and then you basically set the time, and that is how the broadcast would be set up. So let's say we will do this afternoon at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so we're going to create the broadcast. Now, what this is going to do, it's obviously going to be just live in my Facebook group, so nobody else in the world is going to see it, but it does give me the ability now to show you behind the scenes as to what is going to go on. So let's imagine the time now has fast forwarded to 4 o'clock this afternoon, or just before, about 10 minutes before. I want to enter the broadcast studio. Now, this could be where things go a little bit wrong because I'm live streaming in one, and I'm hoping this isn't going to go wrong and I'm going to stream on the other. I've just realized I've got the wrong screen still sharing with you, so bear with me just 1 second. So I am just, there we go. Okay, so we're going back behind the scenes. So all I have done, let me just come out of that because I've just realized I didn't have the right screen shared with you. So all I have done is added my little thumbnail image to this video broadcast and basically hit save. So now that you can see that this is my little dummy one, we're going to enter the studio. We give it a second. Oh, look, there you go. While we're just waiting for that to come up. I am so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Tana Zobel has just said it's actually a photo of me diving into the Mediterranean Sea. So she has actually populated it, but for some reason, maybe Periscope hasn't quite connected up properly. I'm not too sure why her little photo's not showing, but she's obviously just saying she's got a lovely little live photo there. So that's cool. Thank you very much. And thank you for still watching and supporting me. It means a lot. Okay, so back to the whole behind the scenes here. So what we've got going on now, we're going to just be entering the broadcasting studio in just a second. So this here is your name. Now, realistically, what I should be doing as the presenter is putting in my name. But I like to be different, if you haven't already noticed. So what I tend to do is I actually put the name of my video broadcast topic. So in this case, it would be the SEO keywords that we just made up. So she says keywords. Now, the only reason I like to do that is because I obviously go live quite a lot, and I'm obviously building up my YouTube traffic and presence. So it just helps, I think, my audience when they're watching the video to know what the video topic is all about, especially if they dive in sort of 5 or 10 minutes into the video. And because of that, I've got my own little overlay graphic, which I'll talk about in a second, up in the corner, which will basically have my name. So here we can also set up things like the mics and whatnot, but I'm going to come back to those in just a moment because we can also do that inside the studio. Now, I'm hoping this isn't going to clash with what's going on now, so we'll soon see. Okay, so far so good. Right. So, okay, so as you can see, this is exactly what I'm seeing right now in my other monitor with this live broadcast. This is what you guys will see. Basically, I'm going to just quickly talk you around it. Down the bottom here is where all your different sort of live shared screens will go. So, for example, I can add myself to the broadcast. So think of this as like on a theatre stage, behind the curtain, before the curtain's been pulled back. Nothing at the moment is live because we haven't clicked on that go live button up in the corner. And obviously I'm not going to do that because it's going to totally clash with what's going on my actual live stream to you. But essentially we can add things down here. Now, where I've been adding my sharing my screens, you can see here that all my other monitor screens are coming up, and you've got this kind of repeated pattern going back because I'm obviously live in another screen. So I'm just going to leave them where they are so I don't upset anything. But essentially you'd have these different boxes come up at the bottom, which are basically the different monitor screens. So you'd have one for a guest co-host, or 3 or 4 of them actually if you've got lots of different guests joining you. And then obviously down here you've got the ability to then sort of change the screen layout. So as I'm the only one in this broadcast, I can't play that much. As you can see, not much is going to happen because I've got no other screens to share. But essentially the view that you're looking at right now with me on the little left hand side and the main monitor screen, that is this view here, which obviously I can't show you because I'm on one live stream and this is going on in another, but essentially you get the idea of what's going on. Now on the right hand side you have your controls, so you will see your banners, and literally this is how I am seeing it on my screen at the moment. This is all of my little banners that I show up and I flick up on screen like that. So we're in the studio waiting room, so that's my bad because I didn't actually throw that up on screen. But that's essentially how my screen looks to me when I'm doing my live broadcasts. And down here, the next one that I was going to talk to you about is your webcam and your mic settings, which you can access also at the very bottom of the screen. And when you do that, you can actually see what camera, so there you can see I'm using a webcam, and what definition that is. So I've got it as the highest it will go. Now, I think that limitation is actually because of my webcam, not the StreamYard software. But then also we've got the audio here. And as you can see, again, I'm not going to fiddle with this because I'm live talking to you right now using this technology, but you can have like headphones if I want to talk through with my little like sort of operator headset on and so forth. So these are all the different things I've got going on, and obviously my freestanding desktop speakers, and again you could change it to whatever you've got. And as you can see, I'm a lady that's got lots of options going on. I haven't played with green screens, but if I was to play with them, I don't know if that's going to work right now because I haven't got it behind me so much, but you can basically change your background if I had the green screen up, and I'm going to do that as a tutor in another day. And then you could fade, oh, look, see, you could fade me in and out and put me in a lovely luxury cabin or whatever that is, and or a brick wall. Let's have it. There we go. And I've disappeared completely. So obviously that works with a green screen. So there's loads of things that you can do with your live stream or StreamYard broadcast. But obviously most of these settings, like the green screen, doesn't show up if you're in Firefox. You have to be in Chrome. Now, we were going to talk about the webcam and mic settings, which we've just done. So I'm just going to show you here now the next, so the studio itself. Now, literally, if you look up in this top left corner, it says the word scheduled. That means I haven't gone live in that broadcast because this is a second screen that I'm trying to demo in whilst I'm live in a different screen. So it's all a little bit complicated today, but essentially the moment I was to hit that go live button, you do generally have about a 2 or 3 second delay whilst the StreamYard software and servers basically automatically kick in, and then that grey scheduled button would go and turn into a red timer telling me that I'm live and how many seconds I have been live for. And that is essentially it. And once that has happened, the blue button disappears, and what it does do is show me a red button saying end broadcast, and I end the broadcast when I'm finished talking. It really is as quick, simple and easy as this. And I'm going to say it's child's play, purely because I'm pretty sure that with a little bit of sort of coaching, I could get my 10-year-old to do this. So if you're not a technology fan and you're not sure if you could manage all of this, I would definitely say create yourself a little sort of private Facebook group and give it a wee bit of a go and practice behind the scenes, just like I explained at the beginning. But it really is the easiest software on the planet. Now, the only other thing I haven't done is talk to you over here about these other options. Let me just go where it says brand. Now, I'm obviously on a paid license, which is allowing me to go live across 5 different platforms simultaneously. So I've got 2 Facebook groups, my Facebook business page, my YouTube account, and my Periscope / Twitter account. Obviously, in the future, when LinkedIn sorts itself out, I will drop one of the Facebook groups to be my LinkedIn profile. But I have the ability to do that because I'm paying for the professional, I think it's the professional license. Now, if you don't want to pay for StreamYard, okay, you won't have quite as many options, but you still can use the software with their branding. And if you look at the screen at the moment, their branding, so I'm just going to swap things around. Obviously, you can see there that I've put in my colour scheme for my business, and they've given you these couple of different options of styles. They're going to bring out more during 2020 and 2021, I think, from what I've understood on their forums. But they're let me just turn this off. There we go. So this is what you're seeing on screen right now is the default branding for StreamYard. And that's how, if you're on their free application, your screen will look to go live with. I'm just realizing my little girls have been playing with my buttons. They've gone, oh, it is blue. It's just looking green on the screen there. But essentially, there we go. We've got, that's how the StreamYard branding looks. Now, when you are paying for StreamYard, you have the ability to then basically customize this any way that you want. So as you can see, I have got my own little branding going on. I'm just going to turn off their logo because it's sitting on top. So all I've done is create a PNG, transparent PNG, the correct size of the monitor in regards to pixels. It might even tell you there. So that's 1280 by 720. It tells you the image size can't be any more than 10 meg, which is fine. And obviously, that's obviously because you can upload video clips, which is where you can see my 3 or 4 little overlays going on here. So what I've got here is that's my traditional, or the little intro that I was using with my fluffy slippers, using my cup, making my cup of coffee in my mug, which I've got right now. This is the new one that I just did at the weekend. So these are all little video clips, and this is basically if you wanted to actually do some pre-recording, maybe you want to go out on location but you want to do a live video stream, so you need to mix in your live broadcast presentation with some other little clips that you've done. This is exactly how you do it. I mean, that's essentially what my little intros are little broadcasts or little videos that I've done elsewhere, edited together like I would have done a regular video for YouTube. And all I've done is made sure that they meet those criteria so that I can upload them into the StreamYard environment, and away we go. So that's my outro, that was my intro, and as you saw at the beginning, that one there is my little social media ones. So I won't click them right now because you've obviously seen them enough. And then down the back here is some backgrounds. Now, I can't show you those right now, but if you look at my monitor screen on the live broadcast that I'm on, let me just come over and I will change them while you're there. So you can see now that I'm using my turquoise one, and that is the background. So it's kind of like a watermark that I've put behind the videos and so on. And I think that kind of brings me up to where we are today. I mean, the only other thing that I haven't mentioned there is the private chat, which is when you've got co-hosts talking to you, and you can have 2 or 3 other presenters. They might have questions whilst you're talking live, so they need to message you quietly on the slide so that the audience doesn't see it. This is where that chat environment will take place. So that's kind of it. That's kind of bringing me to a bit of a conclusion now. So the benefits of using this software, let me just change my screen back. Oh, no, wrong one. There we go. See, I told you it can sometimes go a little bit skew when you're doing things live. But essentially, that is how simple and easy it is to go live with StreamYard. So the benefits of using StreamYard, it's very point and click, very self-explanatory. You don't need to download any software. They call it the StreamYard app because it is essentially an app that runs in the browser. There's nothing that's installed on your computer. Your guests don't need to install anything. You can just send them a link. And that's it. So I will make sure that there is a link in the description should you want to go and sign up and give it a bit of a play. It's obviously very easy to get started with. And that's it. That kind of brings me to the end of today's presentation, or my little video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm just going to see if there's any other comments. Doesn't look like it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your messages. And do subscribe and stay notified. And that's it from me. My name's Angela McCall. This was McCall Media TV, and I'll be live again soon. So make sure you tune in and come back and watch what I'm up to. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.